what is really important for me as your teacher is to not teach you things that will be useless for you. So I'm not going to show you destructive way. I'm not going to show you all adjustment layers because I know you're not going to use certain things in your future work. What I want to teach you is how to work quick, how to work effective, how to work non-destructive, and what's most important, how to work creative with Photoshop and with curves. If you open Photoshop, if you are a beginner, maybe you heard about curves, maybe not, but curves are most important tool. It's the adjustment layer that you going to work the most, and I could bet on this. You can see this small icon in your Photoshop. Hit this icon and here you can see all of the adjustment layers. One of them is curves, and it is something that should be really important for you, and through this course you will understand why curves are so important. You can do everything by curves. You can set lights, shadows, you can play with colors, you can retouch your images. Every possible, maybe not every, but most of the things you can do using just one adjustment layer. Also, if you have your panels set as essentials, as I have, after installing Photoshop, you will have this view I just got used to. You have your adjustment panels over here, and you also have your adjustment layers, including curves. So I'm going to do this my way. I always do this my way through this small icon on the bottom. And let's open curves. As you can see, this box is quite big. I usually keep this a bit smaller, but it will be easier for us to understand. And how the curves works. You can open this and you can just see this box. You can see some histogram here. And this is super important for you to understand what the histogram represents. Let's leave this line for now. Let's be focused on what we see over here. You have this weird gray shape inside the box, and this is our histogram. And here you have two sliders on the bottom. Dark one, it's not totally black, but we could call this as a black one because it represents the darkest point of the image, and the white one, which represent the brightest part of the image. And this thing inside represents the amount of pixels in certain area, the amount of dark pixels or the bright pixels. And even by looking at this image, you can easily say that this image has more bright pixels than the dark one. And we can see this on the histogram, because here we have dark area and we can go to the middle point. Let's say on the middle it's something like gray. This is our midpoint, and this is the dark area. And as you can see, we don't have really so many dark pixels, but if we go from the middle till the end, we have really a lot of bright pixels, which represent these areas over here. Here would be somewhere some brightest area probably, and maybe it's a bit too much. No matter which image you're going to open, probably if the images don't really look the same, they will have a bit different histogram or really a lot of differences. This is totally different. I really think it's better image, better composition, and especially better light and shadows. And when we open the histogram, it looks totally different. And we can say this from looking at this image, that we have really a lot of rather dark pixels than the white. We don't have really a lot of whites. We don't have many bright points on the image. And I opened a few more images to show you quickly. This image has really huge variety. You can see at the very beginning we have a lot of dark pixels, and I believe they are represented over here around the forest. It's easily, we could say, and a lot of these bright pixels as well, and that would be our sky. So it's very important for you to learn how to read histogram because you will understand the photography, you will understand your image, you will understand what's wrong on the image. And on this image, this is not really correct because we don't have really very dark pixels, as well as we don't have really bright pixels. So there will be something for sure to repair on this image. So as you know the basics about the darkest point and the brightest point, when we're going to manipulate with them, as you can see, we will be changing the values. But about this will be in the next lesson, and you can see you can work in many different ways, and there is a lot of similarities with levels which I would like to mention. On the top, what you can see of this box, we have something like RGB. RGB is the mode we work in, and this represents 3 colors: red, green, and blue. You can change the modes on the image for red, green, and blue. And as you can see, once again, the colors are located in different areas of the image. Even if it looks like we have really a lot of red colors over here, we cannot see the red color on the image. I could really easily say it's around the face, but it doesn't mean we will see the red color, because the image represents all of this color combined, which is RGB. I know it might sound a bit complicated, there is a lot of talk, but you will get that. And the same with green, as you can see, have a lot of green over here. It doesn't mean it's located really here on the blues, but it's how the colors are located on the image to give the fully colorful image you see right now. And of course, this will be very different on each image. On this image, you cannot really see the color blue at all, but as you can see, there is a lot of blue color in the darks, because it doesn't have to be visible blue, just a lot of blue color combined with green and red gives the color that you see on this image. Let's go to the next lesson, when finally we can do some work setting up our lights and shadows to improve our image.